Hey, good afternoon. So we're out here today in Central Florida. It's actually our last day, sadly. So we've just finished up at SeaWorld Orlando, and I will put a link down in the description to that video so you guys can go and check that out if you'd like. It's a forgotten park here in Central Florida, sadly. But we're going to take you along with us on our travel day from Orlando International Airport to London Heathrow, show you as much of the process of Orlando Airport, dropping a car off as well, and just the whole kind of process from start to finish if we can. There will be points that I won't be able to film because going through security and whatnot, you just aren't allowed to film, but hopefully I should be able to take you along quite far. Now we're flying with Virgin Atlantic. It is a direct flight from Orlando International MCO to London Heathrow, so it should be nice with no connection, which is fun. Going from Orlando as well, you're straight at the airport. It's like 30 minutes from downtown Orlando, or from like the Kissimmee region where all the theme parks are, and it's nice and easy. And then to Heathrow, if you're watching from the UK, you know where Heathrow is, and it's quite easy to get to. Car hire, it's a big thing. So I want to show you where to drop your car as well. So if you do enjoy the video throughout and you find it quite helpful and useful, give us a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. Really does help us out a lot. And I would love for you guys to hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, to be notified when we post all new videos. Let's head back home, sadly. So we put it in the sat nav and it's saying 14 minutes from SeaWorld. Now just to our left, we've got the Orange County Convention Center, which is like Orlando's convention center basically, where they have like the comic book conventions, you know, all the meet and greets. They have IAPA there, which is the theme park convention as well. So, you know, we're 15 minutes from the airport basically here, which is just crazy close. So what we do suggest is if you can do something around this area. Universal is actually just up the road as well, so you can even do Universal on your last day. SeaWorld, you've got like Icon Park, where they've got like a big wheel, they've got the Orlando Starflyer, they've got things like that. If you can do that on either your first or last day in Central Florida, you're going to be laughing because you are 15 minutes away from the airport. It's such a short, easy drive. Obviously they do recommend like 2 to 3 hours at the airport before your flight, but you know, if you're only 15 minutes away, you have got to obviously factor in time to like drop the car and whatnot, but yeah, you're so close, it's crazy. So the rental car return, well, we're flying with Virgin Atlantic, so we're in Terminal A, British Airways is Terminal B, and then you've got rental car return. And you basically just, you can just follow the signs for it, and it's like just before you've got parking, you've got arrivals, you've got departing flights, and then the rental car return is just here to the left hand side. Pull in and then follow this around. You'll go in a little bit of a squiggly jiggly as you go through. You follow whoever you've booked your car with will have a separate parking area. So we're with Thrifty. So we're going to go straight ahead. You've got to be careful here because it's a bad junction that everybody's got to cross over. And then you are heading into the parking lot. Now, it's a pretty big parking lot and it's tight by American standards. But you come through, you find, so here you've got Alamo, National, Dollar, Thrifty and Enterprise. A couple of those are similar, like they're linked companies. I think Dollar and Thrifty work in partnership, so you'll probably end up in the same area basically. But keep hold of all your paperwork, make sure if you've got full to full on the fuel tank, make sure you fill up and grab yourself a receipt as well, so you can prove to them that you've filled up the vehicle prior to dropping it off, and it needs to be like just prior on the way back to the airport. So you can rent trolley carts and they are $6 each, so just bear that in mind. You can only pay cash, not the one I used as well, which was quite frustrating, but normally you can pay card on them. So We've just got to drop off our Florida visitor pass, which is your tolls, and there is a little safety deposit box. In a minute, you can't take trolleys on the travelators, finding that out the hard way. We'll show you where to drop the pass quickly. And this is the kind of return box you'll see. You just drop it in there. You can get the visitor toll pass in an app. So go to visitortollpass.com, and then that'll just charge all your tolls to your credit card, rather than being stung by the rental car company for a transponder. And you need to go up to level 3 for ticketing, all the gates and everything like that. Here you do also have one final Universal, Disney and SeaWorld store, all separately. They are separate companies. So when you get to the airport, you still have to check in on one of these little terminals just over my shoulder, even if you've checked in online, which is a little bit frustrating. Then they're actually weighing your bags before you get into the queue, which is actually really good, so you're not faffing when you get right to the very front. But it's a bit of a strange system because you're taking it on and off the trolley like constantly, which is kind of annoying. But I'm glad we're not being held up right at the very front of the queue. You don't have to wear masks anymore, but we're just being a little bit extra cautious for the flight. The federal mandates ended on masks flying in the UK, UK anyway, and it's also ended in the US, so you don't have to anymore. You don't have to in terminals or anything here in the US anymore at all. This is just our choice, basically. Security was nice and quick on this side for a change. It normally takes quite a while to get through, but this time we were through straight away. Take your shoes off, everything stays in the bag, which is really good, and it just goes through the x-ray, put us through the full body scan, and then we're done. And now we're off to the gate, and we just got to get the little tram straight to the main gate area. You're in Florida, even the terminal, you've got an Outback Steakhouse, you've got Bahama Breeze as well, so you've got the staples of Orlando here. Tacos Locos as well, Burger King, so you've got a few things. We're gate 94, so we're actually down that way, but we were looking at going to Burger King, but there is one heck of a queue for Burger King. So to be fair, there's actually a heck of a queue for Starbucks as well. I'm not 100% sure where we'll go. Up by the main entrance to the gate area, obviously you saw there's some food places, all of them just queuing. So we kind of left that, went to duty free, see if there's anything there, not a lot there. But halfway towards the gate, there's a SeaWorld place. So we stopped there and just got a Twix, and then we're obviously going to have food on the plane anyway. We just don't want to queue for ages. Guys, wait till your seat is cooled before you try and board. It's just silly, right? Ready to board. Here we go. So we're flying tonight from gate 94 on Virgin's Diamond Girl, an Airbus A330-300. Love flying with Virgin Atlantic. We did fly first class or upper class with Virgin Atlantic recently. I'll put the link up in the top corner so you guys can go and check out Virgin's upper class experience, because it is to die for. Such a beautiful experience. But we are flying economy tonight. So we've boarded, thankfully. We're at seat 53. We've not unfortunately got window seats on this flight. We did on the way out here, which was nice. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up in the top corner so you guys can go and check that out. We're on a nice 242 seat. I think we might be on the same plane that we were on when we flew out here actually, which is quite cool. So they were saying it's like a 7-hour flight time?
7 hours 50.
7 hours 50. It's a red eye, so we take off in the evening here, we land in the morning when we get to the UK. 5 hours time difference, so it ends up being about 8:45 scheduled land. whether that's the time we actually land or not, who knows. Just grabbed one of these urine safe hands pouches off the air hostess, just to see what's kind of inside it. We got a couple of disposable masks, because we're learning to live with this now, but they do still have these available. So inside we got a couple of wipes, like sanitizer wipes. We've got hand sanitizer gel, and then we've got a little bag here to dispose of used face masks. So it's quite nice. These are given out free of charge. During the height of everything, these were given out like all the time, which, you know, now we're just, as I said, learning to live with it. We've actually changed seats. We're now in Economy Delight window seat, so we've got a take-off video coming up. Yay! So it's actually quite an empty flight on board tonight. We're flying back on a Sunday night into Monday morning, so most people would have flown back on a Saturday into a Sunday. What that means is most of the wings are, like most of the sides of the planes are empty, because Virgin split about 4 years ago. They split their economy out into Economy Light, Economy Classic and Economy Delight. Now Delight is more expensive, Light is cheapest, Classic is standard, you get baggage and whatnot. Delight gives you a bit of extra legroom. So because these seats were free, we were told that we could move to them. So we've got a little bit of extra legroom, different coloured seating, and just slightly nicer experience all round. It's a 2 layout here, so that's pretty good. Getting dark out now. Can't see anything out the window. But it's the same entertainment system, like the old entertainment system. And as I said, check out the outbound flight video to see sort of a little bit more about this system. It's good, it's just old and a little bit slow, but the movies are fantastic. You know, it's all delayed. A whole bunch of movies, and then you've got loads of new films on there as well. Music, TV shows, you name it. So we are having our dinner option on board now. Just open this up. This is one of their fly safe boxes. We had 2 options tonight. We had chicken fajitas and we had a vegetarian shepherd's pie. Now, generally me and Becky try to order one of each, but we weren't too keen on the vegetarian shepherd's pie tonight. So we've both gone for the chicken fajitas, and this is interesting to see what these will be like, because fajitas typically you'd think like tortillas would go quite soggy. It kind of looks like a broken down burrito, like a burrito, like rice bowl or something. So you've got chicken in there, you've got some rice, chicken, cheese, rice, you've got some beans in there as well, probably some fajita seasoning I'd imagine. We've got a roll, there's a butter I've just put under there to melt it a little bit, and we've got a brookie bar, so a brownie cookie mix. It's quite a nice selection. A little bit less than the times before, because before when you had your tray you'd get a little salad pot as well, then you'd get your meal and you'd get your bread and your thing. So you're kind of missing the salad pot to the side now. And also the bottle of water. I think Virgin stopped giving out bottles of water a little while ago, which is good for the environment. So let's give this a try. Who doesn't love plain food, right? It's nice, it's not got a massive amount of flavour. Quite salty. The rice is, you know when you leave rice after you've cooked it and it goes slightly hard on the outside? That's kind of what the texture of the rice feels like, I think. Yeah. Crispy rice. Chicken's nice. For plain food, this is actually really good. Quite a bit of sauce. Lots of cheese. Rice is good. Chicken good. Cheese good. Lee happy. Good meal. So we've just been served our brekkie. That's what they call it. We had a choice of like teas, coffees, waters, juices, etc. So I've gone for a tea, a little bit lighter than normal. Not gonna lie, just feeling I wanted a like tea this morning. Small brekkie box. Normally, when you get an afternoon flight, you get a small box with like a sandwich, a scone, cream and jam. This for breakfast now, we've got like, I don't even know what that is actually, like porridge oats or something. That doesn't look nice, like chunks of lemon in there. And then you've got an orange. So that doesn't look very appealing at all. That's not something I'm really happy to wake up to. So I won't be having any of that. And then you get a naturally flavoured wild berry muffin. It's quite a big muffin. So we'll eat the muffin, but quite disappointed in this. You would think that you'd get served something a bit nicer than that. So that's very disappointing from Virgin Atlantic. We're back in the UK. So we're sat on the tarmac for like 50 minutes before we actually managed to get to the gate. Going through Heathrow arrivals at the moment, but there's signs saying there's going to be delays to get through customs and immigration. Shortness of staff, revenge travel, the disease that's going around still, all adds up. So, oh, and Brexit, that's a useful one as well, that's helping things. So yeah, great. Maybe an hour to get through customs, we'll see. Keep you updated. Queues and queues and queues at border control. Ridiculous. Crazy queues. Bit of a situation here in baggage claim at Heathrow. Just bags scattered absolutely everywhere. People hanging around waiting. I don't know if it's like they've just not got enough baggage handlers or something. But yeah, it's quite sad. It's quite sad. Big shortage of staff kind of everywhere at the moment, sadly. The actual flight itself was fine. We just slept for like 3 hours through the night. We got our first meal service, which was the nice chicken fajitas, chicken, rice, beans, peppers, etc. in there, a bread roll, and a brookie, which was good. Teas, coffees, wines, all sorts that you can normally get. And then went to sleep for a few hours, woke up with about an hour 45 to go, and we had second meal service, which was like a cold granola oats thing and an orange and a muffin. Pretty disappointed in that, but cabin crew were too short on staff today apparently as well, and they did a fantastic job. So props to them. Virgin Atlantic, always good. Just dealing with the hassle here now of going through customs, getting the bags, as I said, queues, and just pretty crazy situation all round. One thing I will add as well, at least Terminal 3, there's a lot of walk-in when you arrive. get off the plane and you've got to go like all the way around to get to the security gates. It's just, if there's accessibility issues, this isn't the place to be for it. It's not a great airport at all. It's kind of been just added on throughout the years, and it doesn't work. At least Terminal 5 is like fairly new, so that was kind of purpose built. You've got the shuttle between terminals. It's BA's terminal though, so Virgin can't go from there. You know, American, none of the other airlines basically. It's BA. That's who it is, British Airways. So that's kind of sad because it is a beautiful terminal. So that's it. We're back to where it all started here at Terminal 3 of Heathrow, the Virgin Atlantic hub here in London. Fantastic time away. Experience in Orlando, a few parks there, and some wedding planning things for us. We had an absolutely fantastic time. The Virgin Atlantic crew, as always, were phenomenal. Staff so accommodating. The plane, it's a little bit old, but it's still really nice. And we always love flying with Virgin Atlantic anyway. Now, getting back into the UK, that was a bit of a shambles. Queuing through customs and border, crazy. And then the baggage system was just ridiculous. We were waiting probably about an hour to collect our bags, and with some of the last there, you had people in first class, upper class, that were collecting their bags at the same time as us. And I think one of the perks of upper class is that your bags are supposedly loaded on first and then unloaded first, so that obviously isn't happening. When you're paying upwards of £2,500 for a ticket, that's pretty poor. But you know, overall good experience. So hopefully you enjoyed the video throughout. Give us a thumbs up, do appreciate it, really does help us out a lot. And I'd love for you guys to hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. See you on the other side. Thanks.